This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this StockBox interview.
Katoro Gold have announced they have expanded the Pearl Lithium Project from 880 hectares to 1,475 hectares through staking additional claims, so a 67% increase there. Patrick Cullen, the CEO, is joining us now. Thank you for your time. Patrick, how are you doing?
Hey, very well, Mark. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. So, I mean, effectively, you almost doubled down on lithium, effectively. I mean, first of all, give us some rationale as to why, how you view the current and future market for lithium, especially given the, of course, the volatility in the prices.
Okay, well, obviously, we're very strong on lithium. That's clear from our acquisition of 31 Explore, as we announced on 10th of February. That's going to GM. Expect that to pass through no hitches. Look. We're continuing to see deals and things happening in the lithium market that make us very confident in the robust nature of this going forward. We've seen Rio completing their acquisition of Arcadium. That's a $6.7 billion deal. A lot of the Arcadium assets are in Quebec, in the province next door, similar geology to what we're looking at here in northwestern Ontario. We've just seen in recent days Chinese EV manufacturer, BYD, acquiring exploration ground in Brazil. So, for me, I think the fundamental is very clear. When car manufacturers, and I mentioned also Volkswagen previous time we spoke, when car manufacturers are getting involved in exploration projects, then you got to think you're in the right space. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, given this sort of expansion that you've done here at the Pearl Lithium Project, could you detail the exploration strategy for the next sort of 12 months, really, or going through the course of this year, including any specific activities that are planned to access these newly acquired claims?
I will. I'll come to that. But first, I'll explain exactly how we've done this, because as you're aware, with the GM still only happening on the 28th, technically we're still in partnership with 31 Explore. 31 Explore have actually acquired the ground on our behalf or in collaboration with us. So actually, we've not actually done the acquisition ourselves. Our partners, our future partners, I suppose you could say, are the acquisition is what's affected the increase in the staking, and that's important because I want shareholders to know that we're not just sitting and waiting for the GM to pass through and then we'll get to work. We've been working and we continue to work, and in fact, it's that work and that collaborative work that we've done with 31 Explore that's actually led to this opportunity. I've been able to bring in some new data in the form of lidar, which I was aware of. I've been working at White Pine and so forth. We've re-looked at this in conjunction with the historic data that 31 Explore had already, and then this opportunity emerges. We didn't want to be sitting and waiting till after the GM when I could have acquired it from Katoro's behalf. I wanted to push ahead, and they've agreed, and they agree with that, and that really underlines the very close sort of relationship we have, the technical relationship, and basically, this strategy, how it aligns so well. So coming back to your question in terms of steps, what we've seen here is we've got, and I think I could ask you to pull up perhaps the map of the area and maybe explain a little bit better. What we have there is the existing Pearl project as per the announcement 10th Feb. The area in the dash line on the west of that is the expansion. So the mapping that existed is covered in the northern area. There's a blue box that indicates what was mapped back in the 60s by the Ontario Geological Survey. And in there, they identified pegmatites. These are known pegmatites. They've been mapped by a geologist in the field, indicated there by the gold stars. That was done in 1967. Subsequently, 1999 through 2002, the Geological Survey, again in Ontario, conducted a whole series of lake sediment sampling, all right, indicated by those little red and pink dots. Those are highly anomalous lithium that's sitting in those lakes, okay? So those two things combined was what instigated the original staking of this ground. So very prospective ground, known pegmatites, known lithium anomalies. So it's a very simple case of going in there to confirm where is this lithium, is it mineralized in these pegmatites. To the west, there are no lakes and there's no mapping. Now, I want to underline, a lot of our opportunity is in areas where they're underexplored, specifically for lithium or the critical metals we're interested in. What we can see in the lidar data that has been acquired in the 2020s is we can see geological features on surface in high resolution. We've been able to make the link between known pegmatites, what we can interpret as pegmatites in the lidar data, and so hence we could see opportunity to the west. We didn't want to wait until somebody else who may be looking at us now since our announcement February 10th sees this ground available and pegs it. And it's relatively cheap to peg ground here. So in terms of going forward, you can see there's access. That's an access road. We believe year-round access. So the next steps is mapping, sampling, and that's all to come.
Okay. So is this more about perhaps shoring up, locking up, if you like, this prospective ground while you say it's before others do, while you can get it relatively cheap, but you are going to do some exploration work, but maybe it's not the focus. Is that fair to say? Is White Pine going to be where the money's going to go?
Oh, no. We'll be spending money on this ground. We'll be on the ground as soon as the snow melts there.
Right, okay.
But there'll be on the ground exploration across White Pine and these lithium projects and the rare earth Bay Road project to the south. All of this, it's stepwise, obviously going through the GM and just formalizing everything on that side. And obviously with the funding coming in following that point. And then you'll see the activity to follow. It is about shoring up the opportunity because others will be interested in this, given the prospectivity and the fact that there are known pegmatites and there's sufficient evidence from recent data to underline, the interpretations we've made. It's that, but it just makes sense. We've identified a feature that is something that we're going to chase. It would be a shame if we were to come to it a couple of months from now and realize that somebody else had picked it up. I should point out to the north and to the east of us there's other operators who are active on their ground. So it would be remiss of us if we didn't take an opportunity like this now. Okay,
and those other operators, is that giving you a lot of confidence that your ground is prospective as well? How sort of advanced are they?
Well, I'd say, the prospects to the north is controlled by a group called Katoro. Now, they originally focused on gold and some base metals. This whole region is prospective because it forms a major terrain boundary. And, from a geological perspective, there's reasons why that's, and I've detailed some of that in the RNS today. But they essentially have farmed out a lot of their ground to another operator, and there has been talk about the lithium. They've acquired lidar in the past to support their exploration work. We've gotten the lidar from the Ontario Forestry basically for free, and they use it to manage their forestry resources, which I should point out, it's for us an excellent source of data, but it comes at no cost to us. It's open source data.
Okay.
Speaking of the forestry is the reason why we have access. There are significant forestry roads. These are not just tracks; these are properly graded roads. To the east of us, you have another operator that's got into a commercial deal, sold shares, given cash to acquire the ground to the east of us. So, yes. Commercial activity I've mentioned in the past, it's important. We're not playing a closeology play. These were pegged especially on the fundamental data that existed there. But it is interesting to note the other commercial activity because one way that we can look at non-dilutive financing for Katoro going forward is that we focus on some of our priority projects. And I won't say which because we will do work, but there will always be opportunity for others to farm in or for other commercial activities such as a sale of a project or such. So that is just something to keep an eye on going forward.
Okay. So that makes sense. So you're not prioritizing any one project. It's about doing active on all projects and seeing where the interest lies, let's say, first of all, on the exploration side, but also from potential other parties.
We're in the business of adding value to these. So We'll add value through early stage exploration or advanced exploration, depending on the opportunity. But we're always going to be open to other commercial arrangements, to increase the share value all across the board.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for your time, Patrick Cullen, CEO of Katoro.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks very much.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.